Sailor, CEO of Comic Club Clothing. We checking in right now with T with the T.
Ruel, man, what's up?
What's
How
going
you doing
on?
today, bro?
I'm good.
All right, so it's nice to have you here on the show. I heard a lot about your story, so we here now just to talk about it.
Yeah.
So let's take it back. So what year did this case start?
The crime itself happened November 17th, 2002.
Okay.
I was indicted March 26th, 2003.
And what was you indicted for?
Aggravated murder.
Aggravated murder.
Aggravated murder, complicity, kidnapping, felonious assault, all on one person.
So who was this person?
This person's named Omar Clark.
Was this like a friend to you?
No, I never knew him, never seen him, nothing like that. My best friend had been arrested in the crime months prior to me being indicted, and they had indicted him as being the accomplice. They didn't have an actual shooter on the case.
Okay.
So they indicted me as the shooter, and April 2nd, 2003, I was arrested, and I ain't come home till March 28th, 2018.
So this crime happened in 2002,
Yes.
but you didn't get arrested till 2003.
I wasn't even implicated until 2003.
So what made them bring your name up, like bring you a part of this?
Most of the part was that my best friend was my best friend, so it was like they knew he was there. They pretty much had a good idea he was there. They couldn't figure out who he was with. So by us being like from the same neighborhood, always being around each other, things like that.
Where did this take place?
This crime happened on 105 in St. Clair,
Okay.
on a street called Inglewood.
And was this crime, was the person white, black?
African American.
He was African American?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was, they just came and got me because they said that we always together. So they knew that me and him was best friends. And there was a cop from my neighborhood that didn't like us, neither one of us, a vice cop. So he seen it in his best interest to go ahead and kill two birds in one stone and put me down with this crime and let them figure it out. So when they arrested me on the crime, I ain't know nothing about it. I went there, I ain't seen no shooting, I don't know nothing about no shooting. And I just stuck to that.
Where did they arrest you at?
I turned myself in.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I
you
turned
knew that
myself
you
in.
had a warrant out?
Yeah, I turned myself in. Because I knew I ain't do nothing, so I went down there to see what they wanted to talk about.
Right.
I ain't never come out.
So you turned yourself in, they kept you,
Yeah.
and was they telling you any information?
Man, it was crazy because they
How
arrested
old were
me.
you at this time?
I was just turned 23.
Okay.
So I went down there with my lawyer. I had a paid attorney. Went down there to make sure everything was secured. They asked me two questions. They asked me what was my nickname, and they asked me what kind of car I drive. And I answered those two questions, and then it was like, well, you being indicted for murder. And I was never questioned about the case ever again. I just went from that. From April 2nd, I was arrested, and I started trial like 30 days later. I was in a full-blown trial.
Okay, so you started trial 30 days later, but through that 30 days, you didn't hear nothing.
They ain't talk to me about it. They ain't even come
What about
see
your
me
lawyer?
again.
Did your lawyer hear anything?
They was just racking up the evidence they said they had. They only had one identification witness saying that he actually saw me shoot his friend. And it was like it was suspect.
And was these people like some people that y'all wasn't cool
I never knew
with?
none of these guys. Never seen none of them. Never been around them. Don't know them. So my best friend was already, his trial date was already set because he had been arrested and indicted already.
Right.
He got on bond. So his trial date was already set for like May 15th, May 19th. So what they did is, instead of giving me my own separate trial, they indicted me on his, and I started trial with him, him, and his sister.
Wow.
And they had a three.
Oh, so they had a sister on trial also.
Yeah, because the story went like, what day was November 17th. Like, we was out kicking it. Me and my best friend, group of other dudes from my neighborhood, we was in a bar called the Benjamins. We all left the Benjamins, and we all went to this other bar called For You to Be. We all got in our cars, piled up, followed to For You to Be out Euclid. And amidst us being out there, I guess my best friend's sister had called him, told him that somebody had put a gun on her. So she, you know what I'm saying, she was erratic, I guess, told him like she's on 105 on Inglewood, some guys had put a gun on her. So he went over there to go see what's going on with his sister, as if anybody should, you know what I'm saying? In the midst of him being over there, the guy he got with him, he get out, he argued with the two guys, like, what's going on, what y'all do to my sister? So the witnesses thinking that the passenger was the brother and the driver was just the shooter. But for real, the driver was the shooter and the brother. But he ain't saying nothing. He done do all the talking for him.
Right.
So the situation escalated. But his sister had already gone. She done left the scene and everything. So she telling dude, like, come on, we out of here. And dude pulled a gun out. So my best friend wound up shooting dude that put a gun out on him. He wound up shooting him. They leave, and they could never find out who was with my best friend. They charged him as the accomplice. They thought he was the passenger. This is how it got twisted. They was like, we got to find the shooter. So then the vice cop was like, man, might as well, I guess, put me in the mix, because we all be together all the time. Get me off the streets. But we went to trial. They wouldn't give us a separate trial, so they was mixing the witnesses up together. Now, I only had one witness saying they said we committed this crime, and then another guy came in. They asked him, did he see my best friend? He said, yeah. They asked him, did he see me? He said, no, he never saw the shooter's face, nothing like that. So we went to trial. The day trial started, the same witness came in, was like, he 100% sure that he saw me shoot his friend. Like, when just the day before yesterday, he said, you never saw me a day in your life. And they allowed it to go on in court. So now they had two witnesses saying they saw me shoot dude.
So none of the lawyers and nobody brought that up?
We did. We fought it. Like, they just, when you going through trial, at the end of the day, the judge got the last say so.
Right.
It's up to their discretion. And my judge allowed the dude to be a credible witness when he had just lied the day before. So it was like, how you a credible witness? And he was high on drugs. Because all this was right about $10. They had smoking a PCP cigarette, and they had went half on it. My best friend's sister wanted her cut her half, and they didn't want to pay her, so they put a gun, told her to get from over there, all that type of stuff. Like.
And this was all on 105?
Yeah. And then, like, man, so I was in county. I sat in there for like 7 months. Our trial was like almost 2 months long. As soon as they found us guilty, my best friend, he told him the truth. As soon as they said guilty, he told him, like, man, y'all messed up.
All right, so when did they find y'all guilty? 7 months later?
No, it went 7 months. It was probably like, I got found guilty, and we got our verdict back in June. And it's funny that we doing this interview, because today is the day I got sentenced.
Really?
July 24th. I'll
wow,
never forget it.
That's
July
crazy.
24th.
So this was meant to happen?
Yeah, like, my first sentencing date was July 7th, because my best friend, they had the news in our courtroom. So my best friend was like, man, when we go to sentencing, I'm going to tell them the truth in front of the news cameras. I'm going to let them know everything right in front of the news cameras, shake the whole courtroom up. So somehow, his lawyer busted a move, so I guess the word got back. So we went to court on July 7th. This is the day I had twin daughters born, July 7th, 2003. And so they rescheduled our court date to July 24th. And we came back to court July 24th with no cameras in the courtroom. Like,
wow. Did the lawyers make that happen? The judge make that happen?
The judge got kicked all the media out.
Wow.
But he still told the truth. So what happened?
In a case like this, they would want the media to be around.
Exactly.
They would want the press to be there.
But they knew that he was going to get up there and say that they made a mistake and that they had put an innocent man in jail, so they didn't want the news to see that. So they kicked the cameras out. So he got up there and said it, and nobody heard it, but just the victim's family and our family. That was it.
But the judge still didn't care.
The judge still denied me. And I filed for a new trial because that was new evidence. Like, he never got on the stand during trial. I filed for a new trial. They denied me. He got on the stand. This time he got on the stand and told the truth. How he shot dude, how everything happened. And they still denied me a new trial. Sent me to prison. Gave me 28 years of life.
Damn. So is your best friend, is he still in jail to this day?
Yeah, right now. Yeah.
So he actually got life also?
He got sentenced with me. I got 28 years of life for being the actual shooter. He got 25 years of life for being my accomplice. And
so they charged you as the shooter.
Yeah.
Even after he stood up and spoke out, they still charged you as a shooter.
Yeah.
Wow.
As of right now, they still ain't changed it. He's still in there as the accomplice.
Are you serious?
And I'm out here exonerated, so he.
But they cleaned your record, right?
They took the aggravated murder off, but they gave me a perjury charge. And they gave his sister 18 years to life.
Oh, his sister got charged too, cause she the one who made the initial phone call. How they tried to spin it, like she called and was like, "Come over here and kill these people." Like, right.
But that ain't how it went. You know what I'm saying? Even the guy that actually put a gun on her ain't the guy that got killed. You know what I'm saying? So it was.
So did they bring him to the courtroom too?
The guy who put the gun.
Yeah.
He's one of the star witnesses. He's the one that lied and said that he didn't see me, and then came back and changed his testimony and said he did see me.
Oh.
Because he was standing right there, so they had needed him because the witnesses they had against me was like 3-4 houses away. And this crime happened at 12:30 at night, midnight, like, you know what I'm saying, 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning on a side street. And all the witnesses that was there said it was 2 light-skinned dudes that came and left.
Really?
And they sitting there telling I was light-skinned at 12:30 at night. It's crazy, man. Like.
So the sister, is she still in jail also?
Yeah, bro. She
So
going up
she's
for
still in
parole
jail.
board
The
like
best
next
friend is
year.
still in jail. Damn. So okay. So after they sentenced y'all, you filed for
A new trial.
a new trial, and they declined it.
Yeah.
And how many times have you filed for a new trial?
I had filed for a new trial probably like throughout the course of my 15 years. I filed a new trial motion like 4 times. Because every time you get new evidence in your case, you're allowed to file new. Whatever you didn't have during trial is considered new evidence.
Right.
So how they tricked me, my co-defendant came forward and admitted to this crime. So everything that I built, that I found after that, they would be like, it's not new evidence because we already know, we already heard this already. But y'all ain't gonna do nothing about it.
So they played it off as it wasn't new evidence because they
Yeah.
said they heard it.
Yep. And
So was it new evidence really for the trial?
Yeah, it was new evidence. Like I had, like the victim's brother in this case, he helped them, you know what I'm saying, build this case. He gathered a lot of information from the streets and helped them build this case. You know what I'm saying? So he had came forward, had wound up writing dude, like I had been in probably like 8-9 years. And I found out he was locked up, so I had wrote him a letter. Like
The victim's brother.
Yeah, like man, because the streets knew I was innocent. Everybody in the city knew. And you say my name, like man, what's so ill? They be like, oh man, he in jail for something he ain't do. So it was like I knew that we knew all the same people somewhere along the line. So I know he had heard the same thing. So it was like, plus my co-defendant already told y'all that he did it. My best friend told y'all he did it. So what I did, I wrote him. I'm like, man, whatever you feel like you got against me, you don't feel like it's been enough. Like I've been in here 8 years, 9 years. What's up? So he was like, man, when he get out, he vowed to do the right thing. I mean, I knew he was innocent, but I ain't like your co-defendant for what he did to my brother. So I didn't care about nobody. He's like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, shit, that's cool. I respect that. I don't respect it, but I understand. But when he got out, man, he had wrote an affidavit for me, you know what I'm saying, saying that the dude that was with my best friend had called him, like, right after trial. Like, man, L wasn't even there. Like, my co-defendant named Cordell, they called him C. He's like, man, me and C was over there, man. C killed your brother because your brother put a gun on him, A, B, and C, whatever. And dude just sat on it all them years.
He didn't even care.
He didn't even care.
I mean, in a way, I can feel him because that's his brother. But it's just like, damn, you fucking up innocent lives.
Yeah, like, I ain't did nothing,
like,
you know what I'm saying? That's my best
justice.
friend, but I ain't did nothing. Like,
that's not
you know
justice.
what I'm saying? And it'd be like, it's 2 different worlds, and you living in the street life, and you in society. Like, in society world, all right, all that's a go. All those things you do, like, talking to the police or giving information, things like that, that's a go. But when you in the streets, it's certain codes and rules you live by, because if you done did this to somebody else's family, you want the same thing, like, handle it in the streets.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? So, but he came through, he did the right thing, man. He wrote me an affidavit. So, he wrote an affidavit literally saying, like, everything, like, man, he know that my Cody did it. The guy that was with him, this dude named Will, he had came to him and told him, like, the police had told him to get out of town, hide out.
The police told who to get out of town?
The dude that was there with my co-defendant.
So wait, it was 3 of y'all that was there?
No, it was only 2.
It was 2 of y'all.
My dude, my best friend Cordell, and this guy named Will. They were the 2 light-skinned dudes that went over there.
Oh, okay.
But the other light-skinned dude, Will, he good with the police, I guess, so I don't know how it happened, but
so the police contacted Will and told him, like, escape.
Yeah,
get up out of here.
Get up out of here.
And did Will do any time for this?
No, man.
Will ain't do nothing.
That's how I got out, like, cause he came forward 2017. He came forward and went down there and wrote a statement to the prosecutor's office that he was with my co-defendant. I wasn't there. That it had been sitting on his brain, his heart for a long time to tell the truth. He want to do the right thing, you know what I'm saying, get an innocent man out of prison.
Right.
But then he ain't go to jail.
Damn.
Will a free man, like, I don't know.
Okay, so once you got out, did they, like, pay you? Did they?
No. Cause when I was this was the trick with our system. Like it's like they don't like to admit they made a mistake, so they try to find any kind of fault on you. Now during trial, he had intimidated all my witnesses. Like my dudes I was with that night, the bar owners or the bar I was at. This vice cop was going around harassing them during my trial. Like I better not go to court, things of that nature. I got affidavits from guys in the neighborhood saying like, man, dude threatened me that he's gonna put me in jail if I go to court for L. All this. So when time came for my defense, I ain't had no witnesses. So my lawyer
scared.
My lawyer like, man, you ain't got no witnesses here to prove that you was somewhere else other than at this crime scene. So I gotta understand myself, like on my own behalf. Like I ain't got nothing to hide. I ain't killed nobody. So, but in the time he be on the stand, they took my words and they was like, well, if you was over here at the bar for you to be at this time, where was your best friend at? So I'm like, shit, at the bar with me. Like, as of my knowledge, I don't, you know what I'm saying? As far as I know, everywhere I was at, he was at. We was together that whole night. Wherever I went, he
But
went.
was you just saying that to like try to cover his behind?
I mean, of course. I mean, it's obvious now. Like, bruh had to go over there and you know what I'm saying,
right?
Bust the move. But it's like, and where I'm from, in my position, like that ain't my place.
Yeah, it's not your place to really say
that. Ain't my place to
say.
I'm gonna tell you what I know. He was at the bar with me, like.
Right, so the heat of the moment, you just talking, you just telling them like he with me, like
yeah,
that's
like
just what it is.
If me and you ride in separate cars, but we go to the mall, we go to the movies, and we go here, we go to dinner, and then you go home, and your pop's like, where you was at all day? I was with L all day.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like I don't. If you left to go use the bathroom and come back, that was on you. Like, but as far as I know, like we was together all that night. So they took that when he came forward and said that he had went over there and he killed dude, and the other guy was with him. They came back and was like, oh, you committed perjury. You lied on the stand. So I'm like, yeah, all right, I lied on the stand. Like, I'll take that responsibility. You know what I'm saying? All right, I lied. And it was like, they was dangling my freedom in front of me like, well, we know you ain't committed murder. We know you went there, but you committed perjury. So you take this
But
plea
I wouldn't have did perjury if y'all ain't had me here in the first place.
Exactly. It don't work like, see, look, and the defense go last in the trial. So every police officer that got on that stand that said they knew I did it, they lied. Every witness that got on that stand said I did it, they lied. All of them committed perjury
first. Do you know how many got on the stand and actually like spoke
It was
out?
2 witnesses that got on there identified me.
Do you know these witnesses?
Never seen them a day in my life. Don't know them, never seen them. And then you got like 2 cops that worked the case. They came in there, they was feeding like it was strong, that they knew I had did it. They had gathered all this information and they was positive I had did it. So
do you see any of these people?
Like, man, it's crazy because I just seen the dude that actually got me indicted, the person they used for the main witness. I just seen him in Walmart probably like 2-3 weeks ago.
And how did you feel?
And see, it was crazy because when I was in prison, I had reached out to him and I had sent my wife to him, you know what I'm saying, like to ask him to come forward and do the right thing. Was this the victim's brother? No.
Okay.
This is just the eyewitness. It's a witness that was out there that night. He was like 3 houses down, 12:30 at night. He told me he seen me clear as day. It was like, you could tell he was lying. So it was like, I don't know what happened. They forced him to, you know what I'm saying, to say that. But I made it my business and my bit not to keep dude face in my mind. So it's like, when I get out, I don't want to be looking for dude.
Right.
If I don't know how he look, I can't look for him. You know what I'm saying? So I made my business not to even try to memorize his face or nothing like that. Because I didn't want to come home and run across dude and be on trash in the emotional state. You know, if somebody be in a bar drunk or something, feeling, I see dude, I might be on some trash. So it's like, if I don't know how he look, I ain't gonna care. I'm going by my life. And I was in Walmart, and dude walked up on me, was like, man, I'm meaning to holler at you. So I'm like,
did you immediately recognize him?
No.
Or was you like,
I don't even know who. If he could have told me his name was something totally different, I would have went with it. I'm like, who is you? And I'm grabbing his hand. We shaking hands. I'm like, who is you? And he said his name. And I'm like, you, Larry Braxton. I'm like, you Larry Braxton from my case? And he like, yeah. I'm like, I just held it for a second, like, cause
what was your thoughts?
I replayed this scenario in my head a million times in jail, like what I was gonna do, what I was gonna say. But in that moment came, like I had this burning ass feeling in my stomach, like, man, like dude took all this from me. Like he don't even know though. He giving me a nonchalant look and handshake, like you know what I'm saying? Like, man, I'm glad to see you out. I'm glad things worked out. But it wasn't to his help. He never ever came forward not once. And it's just like, man, I lied on dude. Even after I got out, he still never came forward. I'm like, damn, I've been home over a year now. I figured you would have been came forward as a man, like apologize or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, man, my bad. You know, we was kids. I'm like, no, we wasn't kids, bro. We was in our 20s. I ain't gonna let you. I ain't gonna let you intro with an excuse. Like, no, we wasn't kids. Like, you was better off telling me you was scared. The police made you do it than say we was kids. It was like, and even then, like, he like, I want to sit down. I want to talk to you. And you know what I'm saying? Let you pick my brain. We can talk back and forth. So I'm like, shit, I still can use you for my case, bro. Like, cause I'm still fighting my case to prove my innocence completely. So you coming forward still and being like they forced your hand, they made you lie, whatever, help me out. You know what I'm saying? But he like, all right, let's link up. So me, I'm smart. I'm on parole right now. So me talking to my witness in my case wouldn't have been a good idea. So I'm like, man, I text dude like, man, you should talk to my lawyers first. You know what I'm saying? Go through them, and then we can talk after you talk to them.
Are you not allowed to communicate with anybody on the case?
I really ain't sure. I just didn't want to take that chance.
Why are you're on parole from this case?
Yeah. This how back to the perjury. So they came, was like, we gonna give you 10 years time served for perjury. Now mind you, perjury only carry 3 years max. Mm-hmm. They gave me perjury and obstruction of justice. These are two crimes that very similar. They're the same crime. So they gave me both of them and gave me 5 years max on each one and ran them together. It was like 10 years time served out of my 15. So I was like, man, all right, I just want to go home. At this point, I don't care. I just want to go home. Like, it ain't about the money. It ain't about trying to get paid for wrongful conviction. I don't care about none of that. Like, because I know I'm a boss anyway, so I'm going to get out. I'm going to do what I got to do to make some money. So I ain't going to sit back waiting on no check from the state. I'm like, man, just let me go home.
Right.
So I took the deal, and when I took the deal, she gave me 10 years time served, and then she was like, give me 5 years parole.
5 years? Is that legal?
Not at all. Ain't none of it legal. Oh, and none of it they did was legal, and my lawyer kept, you know what I'm saying, letting it be known, like, it's not right. Like, this deal not legal. Like, it's not right, but we gonna take it because you want to come home. But we put it on record, let y'all know, like, this is not legal, it's not lawful.
Right.
And I took it, like, man, I wanted to go home, so I'm like, come on. And I came home to ankle monitor. Like,
oh, so you was on probation also?
I was on probation. I was on ankle monitor. I had an ankle monitor for 4 months. I reported to the PO.
But what was the point of them letting you out if they was gonna put you through all of this trouble still when you got out?
Because they had to let me out because they knew I was innocent. But it was like them letting me completely out is them also saying they was completely wrong.
Right. And
so
they don't want
like,
to say that.
They don't want to say that. So it's like you gonna take some of this blame. Like, my judge, man, if you go back and watch the video from my hearing, like, never said they were sorry. Never said they apologized. My judge was just going in. I put myself in jail. I should have never lied for my best friend.
And this was after?
Yeah, this my exoneration hearing when I'm coming back to court to go home. Like, before I go home, like, I'm literally sitting in the courtroom fighting back tears. She talking to me so crazy.
And
like,
was this the same judge that gave you the
same judge?
Wow.
The same judge that put me in prison. The same judge that denied every single motion. I went back and me and my lawyer. She denied every single thing I ever filed my whole time. Like, from the day I got arrested to the day I came home, except for that deal. She denied everything else. When I was in the back of the courtroom, getting ready to go home, before I started court, she still was, like, making up deals. Like, you tell him he can't do this, he can't do this. Tell him he can't try to help his co-defendant or his sister get out or put him back in jail. And, like, how? Like, I ain't committed I lied on the stand. You acting like I killed somebody. I ain't killing nobody. Just going like that, man.
So do you still contact the best friend and the sister that's in jail?
Are
you allowed to?
I ain't like I've talked to him, you know what I'm saying, but I don't know if I'm allowed to or not, to be honest. But when you on probation, parole, for real, they want you to have no contact period with nobody in jail. Mm-hmm. It was like, I don't know how that goes. My brothers and I did 15 years. I know guys from all over, everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So I talk to them, send them money if I can. You know what I'm saying? Pictures. I've been in there. I know how it is. I've been in there, and I'm somebody that made it out. So it's like I'm a goat in there, like, cause they don't see too many dudes from the streets, from the hood that make it out.
Actually been preaching their innocence.
Yeah, it be
finally come to light.
It be more so like guys that's, you know what I'm saying, working dudes, something like that really came across a bad break and got wrongfully convicted. But it's very rare you catch a real street dude that's in the mix, like, get caught up or something and make it up out of there. Like,
right.
So I be showing them to keep going.
The person that actually got you indicted to get you to 15 years in jail, Have that person reached out since the last time you seen them in Walmart?
No, I text dude, and I told him like, man, I appreciate it. I'm like, I'm on parole, so I don't know if it's my best interest to be beating you somewhere, talking to you one-on-one. So I'm saying I would feel better if you spoke with my attorneys first. You know what I'm saying? We got some legal advice about it, how to do it without me getting in trouble, and we can go from there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he never responded to my text, bro. Like
none of them.
None of them. Like, it was over with.
Have you gave the lawyer a try to like contact?
Yeah, I gave my lawyer's numbers, and he didn't return their calls either.
Wow.
So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
so what was your point?
If like, I was, you could have just walked past me and kept going.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like,
I don't know if he was trying to see where I was at mentally, because he was there with his kid. Like, maybe it made him feel like, I don't know. It probably made him feel better. He did something now. Yeah. Like, I got that off my chest. Like, but you really ain't do nothing.
Oh man, and that's messed up. And that's a black dude too.
Black dude, man, one of our own.
Yeah, that's messed up.
And
they be up a lot, bro.
They be saying like, the white man this, the white man that, but it's like, man, it was our brothers in my case that lied on me.
Black judge too?
No, I'm talking about as far as the witnesses.
Oh, all witnesses. You got indicted by all the black people.
Yeah, like they put it down on me. It was like, it's amazing because like the other side, the one came and got me out. Like, I had a white attorney. She was amazing, man. Her name Kimberly Corral, man. She amazing. Like, I called her. I probably had like 10, 11 years in. I was in there. I stumbled across her number. Somebody gave me her number. I called her. I'm like, man, I'm in jail for life. I have a murder case. Somebody said they did it. She like, somebody admitted to the crime? I'm like, yeah, they been admitted to the crime. I got all these affidavits. I got all this evidence. She like, oh, this case should be easy then. I'm like, I don't know. I'm telling you right now. They were denying me. She was like, man, this is a hard battle. But she ain't like tap out. Like the rest of the lawyers I had was tapping out on me like, yo, judge ain't messing with you, man. You don't know what to do, man. Taking my money. Just rolling with it. She came on board. She didn't give up on me. And I had met my wife had came back into my life. We used to know each other when we was younger. She came back and I had like 10 years in. We started talking on the phone, conversating. She was like, man, what I do to get you out? Like, what can we do? We trying to fight. She got to organizing rallies and going down to the prosecutor's office and
really?
You know what I'm saying? Like putting it down. Like then one of the editors at the writers at the Cleveland Scene magazine, he had came through, did a full feature on me, had me on the cover of the Cleveland Scene magazine, did a whole article about my case.
So you spoke about this on other platforms?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. And
then the Ohio Innocence Project, they got on board. Like I had applied to them like twice. They had a heavy caseload or somehow it didn't work out for us, but when they seen the media attention I was getting and the traction I was putting and all the evidence I had, they couldn't help but get on board. Like, they was raw. They came to see me ASAP, sat down with me. They had read my case. They was like, man, we gonna help you get out. And but it was like my case, I had built my case myself. I had paid for private investigators. I had paid for polygraph tests for me and my co-defendant. And I had just racked up so much evidence in my favor. Like, guys that started coming forward slowly but surely, like, man, we wanted to come to court, but dude was scaring us off. You know what I'm saying? The vice cop had retired. So once he retired, guys in the neighborhood felt safe to come forward. And I was like, man, we been wanting to get L out, man, but dude had a suit. Now he ain't a cop no more. We gonna tell the truth. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I had all this evidence. I got the victim's brother in my favor. He in my corner, like he wanna get me out of jail. He know I ain't do it. I got my co-defendant saying he did it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what I'm still in here for? They just kept denying me, man. Like,
so how did your family take it at the time?
It was hard because I had 6 daughters. Well, I left
at the time you had 6
daughters? When I got arrested, when I went to jail, turned myself in, I had 4 daughters. And when I was in prison, I had twins born July 7th. Wow. I had twins born. I didn't know about it. I found out when I was already locked up they had been born. So I had 6 daughters. My daughters was young. My oldest was only 6 when I got locked up. I came home, she was 21 with 2 kids. You know what I'm saying? I came home with grandfather. Like, right. It was crazy. But my sister, my mother, my grandmother, they was all strong. They made sure I seen my kids everywhere I was at. No matter what jail I was in, they came through, brought them, made sure I had contact. You know what I'm saying? Kept me with the pictures and stuff like that. So I had a good village around me.
Right.
But at the same time, like,
who just want to be in this predicament?
Yeah, who want to go through that? And you know what I'm saying? At the same time, it's like, man, they don't look at it how we look at it. They look at it like, well, you supposed to have deep, just do to get free. You know what I'm saying? But you here, so we gonna ride with you, we gonna support you. We know you ain't did nothing. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like, boy, you a fool. You supposed to free yourself however you could. But they
it's just a certain, when you got loyalty and respect for
somebody.
somebody.
Yeah, but you brought up in a certain, like, but I can try to tell them, like, at the same time, the morals and values y'all instilled in me growing up is maybe the man I am. You know what I'm saying? You have principle, you value your family, you value your friends. So it's like, it's what it is. When people living in a society where they don't see that, like when the heat on, it's like, no, I ain't going down for nobody. It was a hard fight, man, but I had good people in my corner, man. I just stayed prayed up, and I made it my business the whole time I was in there to never ever, like, think it was over with.
That's what's up, man. That's good. I'm happy that you got out. This kind of remind me more of like the Central Park 5 type situation.
Yeah, yep.
You know, where the prosecutor actually put those boys in jail and they didn't do nothing. They didn't even know each other. They didn't know each other, never seen the lady, never was. Yeah. They was in the park that night, but you know, they just, like, you was around, but it wasn't you that
I never seen my
crime.
victim before. I never seen my victim. I know of his brother from the streets, but that ain't my area. That ain't my section. So I know a couple dudes from over there, but I never seen the victim. Never seen the witnesses a day in my life. It's like, how do I get here? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, and now I'm just, and this crime affected so many different families. You know what I'm saying? So now I try to tell these females, like, be mindful of what you're doing. Like, when you get into it, you call your brother or you call your uncle, like, because the smallest situation can escalate. This was about $10.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, after all those 15 years of my life, my co-defendant, he in jail life, his sister in jail, she got life, the victim lost his life, you know what I'm saying?
Over $10.
About $10. You know what I'm saying? It was like, but at the same time, I be trying to tell the younger kids, like, it all started from the streets. Like, I go speak to these kids, I be like, man, my first mistake in this crime was I chose the streets over school. If I went in the streets, the police, the vice cop would have never not liked me. You know what I'm saying? It's all, you gotta play it all back sometimes. You can't just point the finger at everybody else. Like, had I been doing the right thing, my chances of going to jail for this crime would have been super slim because I would have been in the house that night with my kids.
Right.
That same day, my whole family went to the Amish country and begged me to go. And I'm like, no, I ain't going with y'all. Like, I'm chilling. I'm about to go kick at the bar. I want to hang out. You know what I'm saying? Like, had I chose my family over the streets, I wouldn't been nowhere to be involved. I got a documentary out on my stories, like 11 minutes long. So
where's the documentary?
Huh?
Where's the documentary?
It's on YouTube, Facebook, everywhere.
Okay.
It's called Ruel Sailor's First Year Exoneration. It's like basically telling my story what I've been doing since I've been out. This place called Lightborn Studios. They filmed it for me. They filmed it for the Innocence project. They the one did it. They do videos like Kanye West, Taylor Swift, they raw. So they followed me for like 3-4 days. And I had got married. I got married March 28th, my 1 year home anniversary. I got married that day down there on the courthouse stairs where I came out at.
Oh, so yeah. So that was just like you just feel like celebrating.
I just felt like, like, it's my turn up right here though. You know what I'm saying? Like, my wife put on, she was there. You know what I'm saying? She deserved that. So it was like my 1 year anniversary. What better way to celebrate it right here on these steps where I walked out at to show them, like, man, I'm progressing and, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm better than what y'all just make me out.
Yeah, I got my own clothing line and I'm just doing positive things, like showing the people the same thing.
You wearing your clothing line now?
Yeah, of course. Comic Club.
Okay.
Comic Club started in prison. I wanted to come home and do like a program for the youth or just with the kids in the neighborhood, and I named it Creating Options, Making More Achievements. And it was like...
Okay, so that's what COMA stands for, Creating Options, Making More Achievements.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
And it's a lot of different little acronyms people put on there, but that was the main one, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, when I came home, and dudes, I would tell dudes in the jail, like, yeah, I'm Comic Club, man, like, man, that's catchy, bro. Like, that sounds like something to be on some clothes. And I'm like, man, I don't know. I'm like, but I love fashion and I love music. Them my two passions right there, clothes and music. So it was like, it was only right. So I'm like, man, I'm just turning to a label, Comic Club Records, you know what I'm saying, or Comic Club Entertainment, something like that, and see what'll pop off with it. So when I came home, one of my dudes from the neighborhood, my dude Moon, he from Bossburg, he was in jail with me. I've been knowing he was little. We always just talk, walk the yard, like, man, I go home, start Comic Club Records, man, you the face of it. So he like, it's a go, bro, I ain't going nowhere else. I'm rocking with you. So when I came home, my kid's mother had her own business where she do printing for t-shirts, she do embroidery and all this type of stuff like that. So I'm like, damn, you do t-shirts? She like, yeah. So I'm like, man, why don't you put Comic Club on some t-shirts for me? She's like, all right, bet. So I got like probably like 25, 30 of them just done. She gave me a deal. I passed them out. I was wearing them myself, and I was passing them out to dudes in the neighborhood that wanted one.
You wasn't even charging?
No, I was passing them out. Like, dude would see it, like, man, shirt hard. I'm like, here, I got one for you. Like, here. So, boom, then people started like, man, where them shirts at? Everybody got these Comic Club t-shirts, where they at? So I'm like, I called her like, man, it's on the floor. Like, yeah. I got some more done. So I sold some, passed some more out. And then when it got chilly, he was like, all right, where the hoodies at? Where the jogging suits at? And I'm like, oh, y'all really want all this? Y'all want this merch? Hats. Yeah, I got, man. So I just cranked up, like, man, hats, t-shirts. Right now, I started off just doing just straight t-shirts. And I went to jogging suits, hoodies. I got tank tops with girls, shorts with girls. And now I'm doing swimming trunks with the dudes. Because where we from, our neighborhood, we wear swimming trunks. Yeah, as fashion, you know what I'm saying?
That's what I was gonna say. We wear swimming trunks as short.
Yeah, short.
No,
so
we ain't even going
people
swimming.
tripping like you got swimming trunks. I'm like, yeah, this fashion. Like, you know what I'm saying? I wear swimming trunks and t-shirts to the club, like with a fresh pair of tennis shoes on. And it's like, so I took that, and now dudes from other neighborhoods that don't even move like that, they like, oh yeah, man, I wear them swimming trunks, and I do the 3M a lot. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going right now, reflective and glow in the dark.
Yeah.
So I'm making that's my specialty right there.
Okay.
Comic Club clothing, man. And then the record's coming soon.
So you making music too?
I'm working on it right now. My dude Moon, he working on the mixtape right now. And my dude Wuda, he ain't on Comic Club, but he family.
Wuda, I just interviewed
you know what I'm saying? Like, he don't wear nothing else. He brand ambassador. He don't wear nothing but Comic Club.
Yeah, he was wearing it in the interview, actually.
Yup. And that's my bro, man. Like, I was in there. He's one of the guys that was on deck for me out here, you know what I'm saying? Call anytime I need something, he's on deck for the family, the kids. So, that right when I came home, we just linked. And we trying to start a campaign right now and get him on that Summer Jam stage.
I feel you.
We on it.
That's what's up. That's love, that's support. And that's just how people in Cleveland need to be. You know, we just need to be
make it so far, man. We make it so far.
Around,
like, we
supporting
all
each other,
come together.
click up, stop just hating so much, beefing so much, and just make it all about giving back.
Yeah, because we ain't a slow city, man. It's like, but our separation make us a slower city.
Yeah, it's a lot of separation. It's like you got a city, and then you know how high school, you got your cliques in high school.
Yeah.
I feel like that's how our city is. And it's not even like cliques like gangs. It's just like everybody is separated in their own way.
Yeah.
Nobody is like, the city is not all together.
They don't understand, like, man, the value of a dollar goes so much further when you bring it together. Like, everybody, like me, I buy clothes from majority of the urban designers. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
I
that's
support
how
them,
I am.
and I turn them on. Like, I got a closet with almost everyone in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, this whole
10
summer.
toes down.
Yeah.
I got all that. You know what I'm saying? Traffic. I support all them dudes. I follow their pages. I like them. You know what I'm saying? I ain't in competition with nobody. Cause I want us all. I rather have 100 black-owned clothing lines than what's winning right now than Gucci, Louis, Prada, any of that.
Yeah.
Like,
cause the value of that. I mean, it's cool, but that's
giving back though.
It's not giving back at. You ain't getting nothing. They ain't giving back
nothing at all.
None of us
like,
is getting nothing from buying a $300 bill or $500 T-shirt, $1,200 pants.
People ain't giving back at all. Like, you can't call them and be like, I got something going on. Can you shout me out? Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Like, I got a mixtape where I got this going on. Can you post? They ain't even accessible. You see what I'm saying? One thing, when you buy urban gear, you buy people from right here. We accessible. You know what I'm saying? We on Instagram, we on Facebook, whatever. Or we in the club, we in the bars. We accessible. So it's like, man, I wear your clothing line all the time, man. My brother in jail. Can you shout out Free L? Yeah, bet. You know what I'm saying? Can you post my picture on your page? Yeah, I got you. Like, you don't go on Gucci, Louis, Prada Instagram page and see nobody from the hood. No. And that's where all the money get made at. You don't see nobody with a Moet bottle in their hand on Gucci page. Like, nah, we too far back. Like, I ain't worried. I told myself when I came home, like, I ain't wearing designer or nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm being basic, wearing my own gear.
That's how I need to be, man. We need to just show more support and love to our own people instead of just everybody else. We so branched out to all these other cultures and designers that's cross seas and all over the world, but we ain't, we ain't connected to our own people in our community.
That's all we gotta do. We gonna be rich, man. Cause it's like the more you bring up people in your community, they gotta come back and get people in the community. You see what I'm saying? Like if I open up a comic club store and my store get the booming, like, all right, I gotta hire people from my section to work in my store. You see what I'm saying? I gotta hire people from my section.
You gotta put your own people on.
Yeah, like, I gotta open the store down here. I gotta hire somebody to run that store. Like, and it's gonna go with indie business. Like, but it's be slow. Be slow, man. My clothing right now at _club_clothing. My website getting built right now. It's shopcomicclub.com. And get at me on IG CC Finally Free Ruel. Look out for that Woo the Boss Bird, Moon coming soon, and City on the rise.
Things are going up. The only way is up.
That's it, man.
You gotta keep going.
All right, man. Checking out. T.